1992 World Motocross Championship is being billed as the premier class. The race formats changed from two 45-minute races to three 30-minute races. Motovision caught up with the top riders to get their thoughts on the coming year. Current 250 World Champion Trampus Parker.
Oh, I think it's difficult to retain it because to win it, you know, you're nobody, but it's really hard to win 2 years in a row. So it's retaining, it's the hard part, I guess, but I feel like I can do it, and then I want to move up to the 500 and finish out my career. Before, when we had two 45-minute motos, it separated the men from the boys, and now we just got a bunch of boys in there playing with the men. The start's about 90% of the race right now, and that's not motocross.
Well, the outspoken American isn't happy with the shorter races, but what about the future?
I'd like to see a lot of riders move up because the 500 class for me is the real racing. But right now everybody says it's dying, but I want to move up and ride it 1 year before they stop it.
And if several guys take your attitude, it could revive the 500 class.
I hope so, because I think that's where the real racing is. Anybody can ride a 125, a 250. There's quite a few people that can ride it, but it takes a real person to be able to manhandle a 500.
Runner-up in 1991 was Mike Healy, and what a revelation he was with his exciting style and fun attitude. At the end of 1991, he was delighted to sign for Suzuki, but early season problems have left him in a sober mood.
New season, new bike. It's just got to get motivated, get into the groove and go again. It was easy on KTM. I had so many years of working with the bike and everything. It's just got to get going. I'm tired of being cooped down. I'm about ready to break out here. I feel like I'm in prison.
1990 World Champion Alessandro Piusar lost the title last year after a poor performance in America and bad luck in Finland when his Suzuki's electrics failed. Now Yamaha mounted, this gutsy little Italian will be a threat despite carrying a serious knee injury. Under team manager Michele Rinaldi, Piusar and the rest of the Chesterfield Yamaha team will be amongst the season's strongest challengers. Peter Johansson, also Yamaha mounted, is a tough, fit competitor from the same mould as previous Swedish champions. The three-heat system will not suit Peter, but he'll be a guy to watch in the third heat, especially after winning his first GP last year.
This was the best day in my life so far, anyway.
I know the team are delighted.
Yeah, it's the first time in my life, so I'm very happy.
Monique Beverts in many ways has the qualities we see in Peter Johansson. He's changed from Kawasaki to Yamaha, but is still backed by Johnson. He's proved he can ride both sand and hard tracks, but appears to lack some self-confidence. Pekka Vähkönen finished sixth last year, his lowest position in the World Championship for 8 years. So what does he think of the new format?
Some good things are motocross, very exciting starts always, so maybe it's also that's good for spectators. It doesn't get so bored in short heats, but also, you know, 45 minutes heat, it's then we see who is the very strong in the end of races. Also, it's hard to say which is better.
Edwin Evertsen is a true sand specialist and rides the factory Kawasaki. This young, articulate Dutchman slipped quietly to 8th place last year. He's strong and fit and looks capable of improving on that position. Thijs Visser sports the number 9 plate and is the teammate of Michele Fanton. Their Hondas have the factory kits, which at the moment are taking longer to fine-tune than most technicians thought. Fanton has a wealth of Grand Prix experience. He snatched a last-lap victory from Mike Healy at the 1991 San Marino Grand Prix. This Italian is superb in the sun-baked hard tracks. Axel Hovert is another sand specialist. He's staying with Kawasaki and is supported by Demolen tyres. His neat, energy-saving style is another hallmark of the Dutch sand technique. Gert-Jan van Doorn is one of Holland's most experienced riders. He's been around long enough to perform well on all types of terrain. Mickey Diamond came to Europe in 1991 with the Bird Yamaha team of Italy. He struggled with a knee injury but scored good points later in the season and is now teamed up with fellow American and world champion Trampus Parker. Bader Manet, an American with Italian parents, is super quick in the first 10 minutes of any GP and could score well. He also boasts the biggest truck in the GP paddock. Britain's best hope of world honours lie with Rob Herring. His fellow competitors acknowledge his speed and he has outstanding technique and ability. But other riders don't see him as a serious threat because of his lack of consistency. Jamie Dobb, the 21-year-old Derbyshire rider, has lost his way in the last few years like so many Brits before him. His talent is undoubted, but he needs everything to go well before he rides to his potential. 19-year-old Stefan Everts matured last year to win the 125 crown. Growing in confidence, Everts could be the man to beat. 125 world champions have always performed well when going up to the 250 class. A superb rider on all types of terrain, Stefan rides for the BFE Chesterfield Suzuki team. Donny Schmidt won the 1990 World 125 Championship, but a broken collarbone in 91 prematurely ended his season. A previous teammate of Stefan Everts, he's now joined Michele Rinaldi's Chesterfield Yamaha team. If Everts has a weakness, Donny or fellow countryman Bob Moore will find it.
He's not unbeatable. He's not a Superman. For sure not. I think it's true that Bob and I do know that he can be beaten and be disturbed mentally. As everybody, I mean, any sport, you can mess up someone's mental strength just by hounding them in the race and getting on them.
Bob Moore comes across as Mr. Nice Guy, and of all the Americans to grace our shores, he's the most European. After several seasons with KTM and twice vice 125 world champion, his change to the 250 class must be taken seriously. Paul Malin has promised great things and had some brilliant rides in 91, notably a win at the French 500 Grand Prix. But at the moment he also seems to lack the consistency to win a world crown.
Start your holiday in comfort, departing from Dover on one of P&O's luxurious ferries. You can enjoy the many onboard facilities which include duty-free shopping, restaurants and bars, bureau de change. You can choose the option of club class with the additional facilities of fax and phone and some complimentary refreshments. Arrive at your port of destination relaxed and ready to go. For reservations, telephone 0304 203388.
The 1991 World 125 champion Stefan Everts completely dominated the opening round of the 250 Championship in the deep sand of Valkenswaard, with a third and 2 wins which left the opposition dismayed. Most of Everts' pre-season races took place in America, choosing to ride the American Supercross Series to sharpen him up. It certainly worked. Evertson, Beverts and Van Dorn, all sand specialists, filled the next 3 positions. Beverts was the fastest in time training and also on race day, but poor starts restricted his result to 3rd. Current world champion Trampers Parker had a dismal day, only scoring a 6th place in the 2nd race. But Paul Malin shocked the established stars with a fine 4th in Heat 1.
Stefan Everts wins the first round of the World 250 Championship. Suzuki have won more world titles than any other manufacturer. Purchase a new 1992 Suzuki and enjoy the benefits from the Suzuki Owners Club. These include free practice facilities, owner's registration security system and regular news bulletins. Suzuki Grand Prix development for your RM.
Round 2 of the 1992 250 Motocross Grand Prix here at Payerne in Switzerland. Great weather conditions, big turnout of spectators to enjoy the racing. Brit there, Jamie Dobb, makes his way back into the paddock, no doubt thinking of things to come. 59 the bike there of Stefan Everts, 1991 125 champion. That's Trampers Parker, the defending 250 world champion. The straight-talking American married to an Italian. Well, that's the gardener. I actually don't know his name, but no doubt we'll talk to him later. Mike Healy there with Sylvain Gabors of the BFE team. Green flag goes up. It's fastest in time training down onto the line first, and that's Everts. 59 on the bike. He'll be hoping to replace that with a 1. Robbie Herring, 19 on the Castrol Honda for 1992. Currently leading the British 125 and 250 championship. Number 2 drops in there, and that's Healy. Number 3, Alexander Prix drops in on the Yamaha 75. There in your picture, Donny Schmidt, the American, 10-3. They settle in. This is where the riders pick their spot on that start gate. Very important part of the race to start. Number 1, defending champion once again. Trampas Parker, former 125 champion, 250 champion. The gate drops, and there they go. Up the hill for the first time. Into that corner. We've got the fallers there. That looks like Monique Bevorts. Pekka Vekkanen is in there as well, but they're away, and it's Parker that leads, number 1. Had a terrible outing at Holland the week before, but here he intends to make up for it. Everts was in second, 59 as the rest of the pack pour through. Massive crowd of spectators here in Switzerland to witness this 250 Grand Prix racing. And the speeds are absolutely out of this world. Everts chasing in second, chasing the man that leads, Parker. The American with the Belgian second. The rest of the pack comes through. Dobby was in there as well, young James Dobb. Teas Visa, Puzar went through. Number 4 there was Johansson. Got Evertson in front of him, but the battle is on at the front, and somebody's gone down in a big heap. It's Kawasaki ace, young Paul Mallin, riding for the first year in the 250 Grand Prix, exiting the 500s from last year. Team boss Alec Wright deciding this lad's got more of a future in the quarter leader brigade, but it's Everts that's now got the lead. Trampas Parker now second, 2 former 125 champions at the front, but it's Everts that leads away on the Suzuki. Parker on the Honda. Him back down the track for 3rd position. At the moment, that's currently held by number 23. The British rider, James Dobb. This is a great ride for him. Disaster last week at Holland for Dobby. Didn't really score much at all. Everts still leads. Oh, look at this. Up and over the jumps. Schmidt, 75, the American. Trying to pick up some places, pick up some points. Out goes the lap board. Everts it is at the moment that's pulling away from second place man Parker. Parker seems to have no answer to that Suzuki. Just seems to have a bit more juice. The Kawasaki of Dobb. This will be a good result if he can stay there. Well, looking back for Baden Monet there, and the Chesterfield boys, Puzar and Moore are in there as well. There's Visa. Teas Visa riding well on the Chambers Clothing Honda. The rest come through. Cooper went through. There's Jan Godard. Looking back mid-pack now from the fallers from that. That's Healy, Bevorts. And here's Robbie Herring. Got held up in that first lap crash, but he's beginning to make up places as Everts comes around to take the checkered flag and 20 points for the first heat win. Second, Trampas Parker, 17 points. Looking back for 3rd. And it is Dobb. He's picked it up, 15 points, and a good ride. Puzar it is that comes in 4th, then Moore coming home in 5th. The teammates, the Chesterfield lads, with Evertson finishing 6th. It seems quite strange that the Swiss authorities have insisted that Chesterfield tape over their riders' logos. As they say, no moving advertisements. Seems quite strange when you consider the rest of the track is covered in Chesterfield banners. But there you are, top 3 take the presentation. Well, there's an explanation of Robbie Herring's coming together with Mother Earth. Team Biaffi lads, Healy and Everts. Everts winning 3 out of the 4 races now. The question is, who can stop him? The Chesterfield ladies along the start line, and here indeed comes the winner of that first heat, young Stefan Everts. 59 on the Suzuki. The Yamaha Peter Johansson, number 4, up onto the line. And there is the British contingent, 23 Dobb, 88 Mark Eastwood, and finally 98 Paul Mallin. Having a chat. The gate is about to drop for Heat 2, and here they come. up that hill. It's full bore into that corner. And you can see those photographers step back. And I would if I was standing there. Round they go. And it's number 18, the American Badermanet, who leads. Donny Schmidt there in second. The second American, Bob Moore, third. Everts is there. Diamond is there. Pouzar is there. Parker is there. Visa is there. Looking back, Fanton's in there. Dobb was there. Herring is coming round as well. This really is something to be reckoned with. Number 4 there, Johansson. Malin is going through on the inside. Oh, they're so quick, these lads, on these 250s. You really just have a job to keep up with them. Healy was in there as well from a bad start. But as the rest of the pack stream through, we turn our attentions back to the front of the race. Badermanet, number 18, leads. It's still Schmidt. Hounded him in second. Moore is there. Everts is still there. So is Diamond, number 17, Mickey Diamond, who gave up motocross racing 2 years ago. He's back, and he's back with a vengeance. Herring, number 19. The British rider charging through from a not a particularly good start. Badermanet still holding off the attentions of Donny Schmidt, 75. And look at Moore. Everts took Moore, and Moore is taking Everts back again. Diamond is still there, no problem. So is Pouzar. We're looking back for Parker. Here's Dobby. James Dobb moving up the field just a little. Really is some interesting stuff going on. Johansson still there behind Dobby. We're looking back for... There goes Healy. Through on the inside, those jumps beginning to rut up. Schmidt, at the moment, still in second, not able to pressurise Monet. But let's look back into third position, because, yes, indeed, there's that familiar Suzuki of young Stefan Everts. Last year's one. Oh, and someone went down. That would have been Schmidt. Colliding with Badermanet. Schmidt goes down in the big heap. Everybody runs over him, including Rob Herring. Let's hope he's not injured. Back on that bike as soon as possible. He's looking back. I wouldn't start. Well, I think he's decided this is worse than trying to dance in the middle of an M25 motorway. There is Healy, number 2. Not having a particularly good time today. We've got the yellow flag out as Donny Schmidt with a damaged machine making his way back to the paddock. Look at the rear end of that bike. Well, it's Moore that's taken up the running at the front. Young Bob Moore, the former 125 contender, now in the 250s. Everts there in second. Behind Everts, it's Herring up into third. This could be 15 points for Robbie. Pouzar, number 3. Behind him, number 1, it's Parker. Getting back behind Parker. There was a battle there between Diamond and Monet. Monet dropping the bike somewhere. Number 10, Michele Fanton. He's in there as well. Number 5, Bavorts on the Johnson's Yamaha. Seems strange that Johnson's can advertise on the rider. As the rest of the pack come through, number 4 there, Johansson. Healy's behind him, making up ground from a bad start. Evertson was in there. Axel Holbert was there. There's Dobby. He's beginning to drop back. Back at the front with the American, Bob Moore. Most unassuming, polite young man he really is. Second, it's still Everts. And there's Herring, and there goes Herring. That's going to cost him a place. Parker goes through. That's 1 place is lost. Behind him, Pouzar goes through. So Robbie Herring making a very bad mistake in that rut. Gets the bike going, but he's dropped 2 places. And places make points, as they say. Mickey Diamond. It's nice to see Mickey back. A great character. Number 10, Michele Fanton. There is Bavorts. And the leader round, I think, now to take the checkered flag, number 81. It's Bob Moore, and he takes it. A win and 20 points for the American. Everts comes home in second with those 17 points. Parker moved up to third. Backmarker coming through. Pouzar coming home in 4th. He'll be happy with that result. Looking back now for 5th, and that was Robbie Herring. Well, he dropped those 2 places. That could have been a better result for Robbie. Diamond there in 6th position. Fanton in 7th. We're looking back for the finishers. That was Bavorts, 8th. And Paul Malin there coming home in about 10th. Well, let's move our attentions back to this Grand Prix drop-down start gate as the riders come out to do their traditional little piece of gardening. There is the 1991 25 Grand Prix winner just a moment ago, Stefan Everts, as they come down onto the line. Diamond There in front of Diamond is Johansson. Moore, the winner of that second heat, lines up. Now, he's chosen not to drop the bike in the rut. He's obviously found somewhere that's got a little bit more grip. The 5-second board is shown to the riders. The gate will drop any time after those 5 seconds. And it does. Here they come. 250cc machines up this start straight. 40 of them, all going for that little pinhole on that first corner. Is it going to be clean? It is. Yes, somebody's down. And that looks like Everts. Indeed, Stefan Everts has taken a tumble. He's going to have to come right from the back. So let's see the calibre of this man now. Away he goes to the shouts of the crowd. But who is it that leads? It's number 1, Trampas Parker, the defending champion. Second place, 28, that's Gazarat, the Italian. Then it was Diamond. Vekinen, Healy coming through. There's Herrin. He's on for a good start. Moore is there as well. So is number 4, Johansson. Well, I can certainly say this has been a superb turnout this weekend at Payerne in Switzerland. Super track, great support from all the sponsors. Just look at the crowd. They really are enjoying themselves. The suggestion that we may have snow here, totally groundless, as you can see, the weather conditions absolutely perfect. And so indeed was the racing. And up into 17th came Bader Monet. Jan Godard there behind him. Paul Malin is in there as well. So is Dietmar Lacker. We're looking for Everts. And on cue, here he is, charging through the pack after that opening lap crash. As we said, we'll get the measure of this lad through this one. Back with the leader, Trampas Parker, number 1, leading, with fellow teammate Mickey Diamond chasing there in second on the Hondas. Number 6, Pekka Vekinen on the Yamaha in third. That's Bob Moore, 81 there in fourth. Coming back behind Moore, number 4, Johansson. And Puzar, number 3 on the Chesterfield Yamaha, as Trampas Parker comes home to take a well-earned win and 20 points. Following Parker home, teammate number 17, it should be Mickey Diamond. Indeed, there he is. And behind Diamond, it should be Pekka Vekinen, the first of the Yamahas. Behind him, it was Moore. In fifth, Johansson. Sixth was Bavorts. And seventh was Puzar. So that's 5 Yamahas, one after another. And Everts finished 21st, out of the points. As Pekka Vekinen here gets a well-earned drink as Trampas Parker steps up onto the podium to take the flowers and the applause of the crowd. And well-deserved disaster in Holland for Trampas Parker, but he's really come good here today. And there beside him is his little young son. So it's motocross really now becoming much a family affair. Well, here's a man that decided to change from the 125s to 250s, and certainly a decision that he's made well, because there in second overall position, Bob Moore, fellow American. Currently looking for Stefan Everts, but he appears too exhausted to attend the rostrum. But nevertheless, from myself, Kenny Kay, we'll see you in Austria for 250 Grand Prix racing.
Trampas Parker, what a difference a week has made.
Yeah, it's went a lot better. We did a little testing on the bike. We still haven't got it working 100%, but it's getting a little bit better. I hope I can do some work with Honda and get some different engines, because we had problems in the first moto here, which we gave a moto away to Stefan. That was 3 more points, but it's still a long championship. We still got plenty of time.
And you said on the presentation that you weren't ready to give up that number 1 plate very easy.
I don't want to take that off my bike for nobody. I'd like to win the 250 this year, and then I'm moving up to the 500 class next year.
Bob Moore, congratulations. Come back today in fine style.
Yeah, it was good for me today. It was also very important that I show my talent here, because I had such a bad race in Holland, and I only got 6 points. So here was a lot better. I finished second overall, and I'm happy with that. And it's important that I won 1 heat, because it's also good for my head that I can go out and win races still. And I still have a shot at the World Championship.
You had some doubt about changing categories, but surely now this proves is where you belong.
Yeah, I think so. It's a big class, and all of the teams and everyone's into this class. So this is the only class that's important enough to really try. So, you know, for me it was really good to get on a new team and a new bike, and I have so much motivation now, and not to go out and get second place anymore. You know, I want to win it, and hopefully it can come true one day.
It was quite pleasing today because we've seen you on the bike today, and at times you look quite angry.
Yeah, well, especially the first moto. You know, I came up really well, and I got about a 10th place start, and I caught and passed Puzar, and then I had problems with the other American, Bader Manet, and I ended up crashing by myself. Well, not I hit him, but I crashed, and so I went back to 7th, but I came back up to 5th. So it was a good heat. Maybe I used a little bit too much energy though in that first heat, and then but the second heat was really good. I got a good start where I wanted to, and first few laps I just watched everyone else, and then I made my move and I passed Everts, and then passed the other rider in first, and it was a good race for me.
And how are the short races suiting you? Is it? I mean, the starts is now proving to be critical. A good start, first half a dozen.
Yeah.
But what about the
start?
times?
The start is, I like it better the 3 heats. Maybe not a lot of other riders do, but I like it better the 3 heats. It's only I have to work on the starts a little bit because, you know, they're so important. If you get a whole shot up there, like, you know, like the second heat, I got a 3rd place start, and then I was in first and I won it. So, you know, the start shows a lot of everything, because usually one of the 6 or 7 riders that can win the race is going to get a good start. So whoever's up there, you know, like Parker in the 3rd heat, he got a good start, whole shot, and he was able to win it.
Okay. Stefan, forgetting the last race, but you have made a fantastic start to the 250 championship.
Yeah, last week I won my first GP in the 250, and today it seems like I was winning my 2nd race, but the 3rd moto I crashed in the start, and I had some bad luck, and after it's very difficult to get back to the front. You have short time and you try to go very fast in those laps, and then I did 2 more crashes. So.
But nevertheless, an outstanding start to the 250 campaign.
Yeah, it feels good to have a good start like this, and it's good for my mind and everything. And the riding is very good. My bike is working very good. It's so good for me. It's perfect.
We have some pictures, and it looks for sure that the white bikes of the Yamahas are going to do you no favors.
No, they don't do me favors, but I will not give them also favors. So.
But it's a start that you've made. Your gating is very good, and you've got out to the front, and you've made the best of it. And just maybe all the problems behind you with the guys racing each other, it may work in your favor.
Yeah, it's good for me. I did 2 good races. I think they have more problems, more nerves than me. So for me, I feel fine. The riding is good. The condition is good. So I don't have to worry about anything. So I think they have to worry about something.
Well, congratulations, and it's a fine start to the 250 World Championship, and we wish you luck.
Thank you very much.
Mickey Diamond, congratulations, you've had a good day.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot.
You came over late after doing some American Supercrosses, and you're looking better than you did last year.
Yeah, I have my condition is a lot better. I have no injuries, and I've been doing a lot of training. I trained real well in the States and got some good races in before I came. Holland didn't go very well, but you know, this race went better, and from what I've seen of the new format, it's going to be pretty good for me if I do well and do the right things.
The knee injury that plagued you so much last year that really ruined your season, completely out of the way now? It's been rebuilt and it's in 100% condition?
Yeah, it's doing fine. Like physically, I have no injuries that are plaguing me or hindering me from training or riding or anything. So I'm 100%. I just need to get in the swing of the new format, and you know, it's going to be a long year, so a lot can happen, and it's probably better just to be kind of quiet and you know, stick it out for points each race.
Damon Bradshaw wins the Pontiac Supercross. He won both days of the back-to-back meeting riding his YZ250 Yamaha. And Bob Moore wins the second leg of the Swiss 250 Grand Prix. Yamaha offer a range of motocross, trials and enduro machines. For your nearest dealer, contact Mitsui Machinery Sales Limited. Yamaha, a breed apart.
Hello, I'm Pedro Tractor from Holland. I'm 23 years old and I'm in a team of Chesterfield.
Hi, my name's Greg Albertine. I ride for the JHK van Bokhoven Honda team. I'm 19 years old and I come from South Africa.
Hello, my name is Dave Strybos. I'm riding this year 125 on Honda. I'm 24 years old and I come from Holland.
Hello, I'm John Vandenberg. I'm racing for Chesterfield Suzuki Holland team. My age is 24.
Well, here we are in Jerez, Spain, for the first of the 1992 125 8th Leader Grand Prix. A small but enthusiastic crowd turned out to see the aerial antics of these riders around this man-made circuit here in Jerez, right in the middle of a famous road racing Grand Prix circuit. And indeed, the possible site for the 1995 Motocross Donations. Well, there is the circuit, very sandy, very bumpy, very whoopy, some spectacular racing to come. Davy Strybus, the Dutchman, posting the fastest time in time training, 2 minutes 21.26, as the gate drops and down that straight they go. 125 single-cylinder machines. It looks like John van der Beek that has got the whole shot. Albertine was around there, number 10, but the Dutchman, it would seem, has got it. 92 goes into the lead. Riding the Chesterfield Holland Suzuki, former 250 world champion. It's Berkey that leads. Albertine was there in second place. Sneaking through, we saw there one or two of the other riders. Pedro Tractor was in there as well, as the rest charged through. It's very competitive, this racing. There's one of the British riders, number 16, Matt Gordon. Green flag up to signify the clean start of the race. Everything looks good as Albertine takes the lead, pushing John van der Beek down into second. Albertine riding the JHK Van Bokhoven Honda has taken up the run in the South African on the Luxembourg licence out in front. Dutchman down into second, and the rest of the pack scream through. Demaria going through, number 4, the Frenchman Yves Demaria. Some spectacular riding from him we saw last year. 92, that's John van der Beek. Looks to have taken the lead back. There's Albertine now back into second. So Albertine must have made a mistake somewhere around this Jerez circuit. But it's Berkey that takes the checkered flag, and a good ride from him. A good start to the 125 Open season. Albertine coming home in second position. Following Albertine home, it was Peter Beera, then Pedro Tractor. Davy Strybus, fastest in time training, managed 5th, and Demaria, the Frenchman, charged from 25th on that opening lap to finish 6th. Great ride from him. And here is Yves Demaria, number 4 on the machine, and no doubt looking for a better result in Heat 2. Up goes the 5-second board, 2 men to hold the boards. Well, that's 2 that can get run over. Here they go, down the start straight for the start of Heat 2. It could be anybody. And, well, it looks very much like 27, the Swede, Fredrik Werner, that's took the lead, but look at that pack of riders over those 2 jumps. Up over the tabletop they go, into the wind, as you can hear through our camera microphones. This is great stuff for the small, but as we said, enthusiastic crowd that have turned out here at Jerez today for this 125 Grand Prix. Around the track they go, a whole big bunch of riders sorting themselves out. It looks like Demaria is in there somewhere. But that is 27, Fredrik Werner on the Suzuki that leads at the moment. 79, that's Peter Dirks in second. Well, someone's very nearly through the whoops. There's Demaria, number 4, going through on the inside. This is spectacular stuff. He really is an airborne pilot, is this young Frenchman. probably a protege of Jean-Michel Bayle, but he wouldn't obviously own up to that. But he definitely really is the next French sensation to come along. They come through over the jumps. So many of them, these tiny little 125 single-cylinder water-cooled machines. The Frenchman, Yves Demarié, now takes the lead. Peter Dirks is still there second. Albertine third. Werner's still there. Bollé is in there. Strybers is there. And John van der Berg is also lurking as the rest of them stream through. Got a glimpse there of Pedro tractor number 3 who just went through, but we're back with the leader, the Frenchman. Demarié leading. Albertine, the South African, there in second on the Honda. Werner is still in there. Well, this really is some great stuff here from Jerez. These small bikes really putting on the style for the crowds that have turned out to see them. Number 9 here, that's Peter Bera, looking back down the track. There's tractor number 3. Really is beginning to hot up some here at the front. There's the 2 Brits, that's Craig Prattley and Matt Gordon, 16. And here's someone that looks very unhappy with himself. It's Davy Strybos taking a tumble somewhere. And that's put pay to his point-scoring chances in this second heat. Here's the man that's virtually led from the gate, number 4, Demarié going through. Albertine goes through there in second position. Looks like John van der Berg has moved up to third as the rest of the pack scream through after those 3 front runners. Bera once again, number 9. He's in a fairly commanding position at the moment. He's actually in 5th. And back behind Bera, Bollé is still in there, so is Tractor. Andre Bartolini is also lurking with some very serious intent. Well, here's the young Brit, first ever Grand Prix for 18-year-old Kelly Swanson on bike 94. He's circulating around 20th at the moment. But here's the man that's at the front, the Frenchman, Demarié, looking very cool as he takes the checkered flag. Albertine took second there. John van der Berg took third. Well, despite that wrist injury, Davy Strybos held on in the third heat for third position, which was a particularly good ride from Davy. Coming home there now in second place, the Frenchman, young Yves Demarié. He had a second there in race 3. But the man that they all looked and watched was this man, Greg Albertine, the South African, with 2 seconds and a win in the last race. That gave him the overall position on the day. And what a great day's racing for him. To the applause of the very appreciative crowd here at this superb circuit, now newly built here in Jerez. First time Motocross Grand Prix racing has been here. I'm sure it won't be the last, and we look forward to the next one. Well, round 2 moves to Portugal, and that's going to be a round well worth watching. Join us then.
Available from your newsagent. Don't miss it.
Here we are then for round 2 of the World 125 Grand Prix, Motocross Grand Prix that is, here in Portugal. And controversy really has marred the start of this Grand Prix because torrential storms have kind of ruined the circuit a little bit, much to riders' protests, and some of the timing systems have not worked quite to everybody's liking. But Remy van Vries was the fastest timing in Group A and Peter Bera in Group B, and it was nice to see the young Frenchman Michael Pigeon qualifying also in that Group B. But it was sad to see 1 or 2 of the other riders losing out as they lined up on the gate for Heat 1. Gate drops, here they come. down that start straight. The charge is on. That looked like Pedro Tractor that took the whole shot. Number 3 on the Suzuki as they find their way around that first right-hand corner. Some of them taking the scenic route over the bank, but it looked like 17 that's got the whole shot now. Yes, indeed, the youngster, the French Frédéric Bollet, that's taken the lead on this opening heat. Tractor there, number 3 in second. Really, things are beginning to hot up as we see some of those ruts that have formed at the bottom of the hills out of torrential storm over the last 3 days here in Portugal, which has kind of spoilt the circuit conditions and the preparations that the club have put in. But nevertheless, the riders are away and making the best of it. Number 16, then, that's Matt Gordon, the British rider. Whoa, somebody's taking a tumble there. That looked like Werner. 42 is amongst that lot as well. The only Japanese rider, Tagamasa. Well, they sort themselves out, get back underway again, but that part of the circuit certainly going to play a little bit of havoc. There, you see some of the water. Just look at that. Tractor goes through there in second spot. It's almost aqua racing. Davy Strivers there in third. Well, as you can see, Bollet still at the front, the young Frenchman. Obviously trying to emulate the antics of his senior, Yves Desmarais, but Strybos is there lurking, Bollet leading. They jump down over the big jumps. Really is spectacular stuff here at this Portuguese Grand Prix. These little 125 bikes doing just about everything one can expect them to do. Bollet. Strybus is in front, indeed, yes. We look at the back of Strybus' shirt. We can tell now it's Strybus that leads. Got him almost on the last lap. There's Desmarais, the other Frenchman. He's going well. There's Pedro Tractor. Desmarais again, number 4, jumps into the water. Oof, that must be very sloppy, being caught by the Dutchman Tractor. Into the ruts they go. Very hard stuff. Rocky and stony in places. The circuit certainly had its fair share of water. Well, it was a win then for Davy Strybos. Young Bollet succumbed to the pressure in the end, coming home there in second position. And it was the other Frenchman, Yves Desmarais, coming home in third. Pedro Tractor, the Dutch rider, made it home in fourth. That's making a first and a fourth for the Dutch. And Chiodi and Bartolini bringing up fifth and sixth, the Italians. Well, Heat 2 on the line as they warm themselves up. The gate drops. Here they come. Who's it going to be? Well, that was a really spectacular bit of stuff, and we've got a whole heap on the floor. That's Bernard Margin. Number 19 is one of those casualties. Whether they'll stop this race or not, we'll wait and see. But at the moment, out there in the lead, it's Pedro Tractor. Walter Bartolini on the Kawasaki there in second as the rest of the pack streamed through. Desmarais was in there as well. And here's a good one. 7th position for the Brit, young Craig Pratley, the Oxfordshire-based rider. He's on for a possible good result here. Back with the leader, it's Tractor as he picks his way through the ruts and the mud. Looking back now for Desmarais, number 4. As we do, on cue, and there is Desmarais. Should be Carlson behind him, and it is indeed. Young Jochen Carlson, the Swede, having a great ride here. Really enjoying himself. All splattered in mud and gunge, but nevertheless, happy for his position. Here's Ian, Greg Albertine's mechanic, hoping for better things. The winner of the Spanish Grand Prix, that is, Greg Albertine. Well, here they are lining up for Heat 3 as the gate drops. Albertine will be looking for a good one. There's Tractor. Albertine is amongst that group. He's now leading. The South African winner of that Spanish Grand Prix, as we said, now has got his thing together. 12th in the first race, 5th in Heat 2. He's now leading Heat 3. Through the whoops they go, up over the uphill jump. Tractor is there as well. That's Davy Strybus is tucked in. Looked about second. Desmarais looks to be back in about 8th. As they pour up that hill. Getting a little dusty, but it's Albertine, number 10, on the Honda that leads. Riding with this Luxembourg licence, Greg Albertine, the South African, looking to be the rider that everybody's got to chase in this 1992 125 Grand Prix. 19 years of age, a lot of experience already picked up in South Africa and America. Young Greg Albertine looking to take the 1992 125 crown if he possibly can. Meanwhile, back in the pack, Davy Strybus has taken a bit of a tumble and handed over second place to Pedro Tractor. But it's this young man that has dominated the front in this last and third and final heat. Number 10, a win then for Greg Albertine. Well, Ian takes the bike and Greg takes the congratulations.
The first corner is really dangerous, and I got caught up in a pile-up in both races, the first two. And the last one I said to hell with it, I'm giving it all I got, and I got a good start and I rode smoothly and I pulled a comfortable lead.
Dunlopad, the choice of champions, as used by Kawasaki and Suzuki. For reliability, long life and Grand Prix performance. Available worldwide. Insist on the best. Don't settle for anything less. Dunlopad sintered brake pads. Available for your off-road machine.
Round 3 here in Italy of the World 125 Grand Prix with Yves Di Maria leading on 92 points as the gate drops for Heat 1. Very much an Italian affair here today with the Bartolini brothers leading the qualification earlier on as they sweep up that very, very dusty hill for the start of this first heat. And dust was to play a major problem in this Grand Prix. John van der Berk it is that leads. Albertine there in second and Pedro Tractor. Oh, he's back there in third. Bollet is also in there as they come through. They've had major problems here in this Italian Grand Prix circuit with watering. They have their own inbuilt watering system, but it just has failed to deal with that problem, dust. Albertine has now got the lead. Pedro Tractor now moves up into second. So that means John van der Berk has dropped to third. On cue, and there he is, number 92. Ex-250 world champion, the Dutchman, coming down into the 125 ranks for 1992. Well, here's the tussles. Eddie Seal, and whoa, and down he goes. Talon Volan missed the first two Grand Prix with a broken wrist. Back in this third Grand Prix, this Italian Grand Prix, and that's not going to help his cause one iota. British rider there, number 16, Matthew Gordon went through with Darrell Atkins, 54, right on his tail. Well, that's how it stood to the end of the race. Albertine took the win, Tractor took second, Van der Berg was third, Carlson was fourth, and Bollet was fifth, with Walter Bartolini coming home in sixth. And there you saw one of the better-looking Motovision cameramen. Heat 2, and they're away. Up that start straight, they go. Just look at this. It's number 9, Peter Bera, the German that's gone for the front. The dust flies, and so indeed does the chances for Albertine. Down at the back of the pack he is now after that spill. But 5 it is now, Andre Bartolini that leads. There's Bera, number 9. He's dropped back. Here's Chiodi, the Italian, 131. He's now got Andre Bartolini behind him. So Chiodi must have the lead, and he plays to the crowd. Over the tabletop, waves to his supporters. A big wheelie, a victory wheelie over the line. It's a win then for Chiodi. Home in second came Bartolini. That's Andre Bartolini. And Peter Bera came home in third. Looking back behind Peter, it's the brother, the Walter Bartolini, 129, that came home in fourth. Talon Volan picked himself up for fifth. And John van der Berk, number 92, came home in sixth. Well, here's a sight certainly not for sore eyes. Two of the Chesterfield girls enjoying the sunshine as the riders soak up some of that sun without the tops on as they come in onto the line for the start of Heat 3. Darrell Atkins there, number 54, with Yves Di Maria, number 4, beside him. picking their particular start spots. A little bit of gardening going on with the feet. Here we are, under starters' orders. There is Albertine, number 10 in the middle. And away they go. Who's it going to be? Up through the dust. We lose them. They're leaning all over each other as they normally do on that opening corner. Up through the dust. And oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. First lap, a multitude of crashes. 20 bikes or more involved in this one as the Italian officials frantically try to stop the race. But unfortunately, they didn't seem to have any red flags. Well, the riders know that it's a red flag that stops the race, a yellow flag that tells them to slow down. Well, they're not going to slow down because at the moment, number 4, Di Maria, is out there in front, and I'm sure he doesn't want to stop for anybody. But 20 bikes or more it was, all piled up there on one side, and here he is, the Frenchman, Di Maria, that has the lead at the moment. Carlson there in second position. And that is Talon Voland, the American, back on his feet in third. It's high time flying over the jumps for Carlson as they come through. Di Maria, Carlson, number 11. Looking back, look at those jumps. Sheer face walls they are. How these boys get these bikes over those things, I do not know. There's Voland. Behind Voland, that looked very much like Chiodi. The New Zealander, 54, that's Atkin. Daryl Atkin. Peter Vera right behind him, and here's Kelly Swanson. He's in with a possible 1 point at the moment in 15th. The leader, Di Maria, coming through to take the checkered flag and the win. Second behind him was Carlson, number 11. Behind Carlson, 93. Talon Voland picked up some points in his first 125 Grand Prix. Chiodi, Tractor, and Albertine comes in behind Tractor in 6th position. Following up in 7th, number 14, that's Jarl Sweeby. Then it's Peter Dirks, and then John van der Berk, and this guy, young Daryl Atkins. He'll be happy with 10th. And 72, it's Swanson, and 1 point.
Pico, high-performance clothing. Designed to protect you in today's high-speed world of motocross. The choice of champions. Tomorrow's technology available to you today in a full range of designs and colours manufactured to suit you and your machine. Pico, anatomic protective clothing.